All right, everybody, now we're going to be talking about scaling your video ad. So there's a couple different types of scaling that I want you to focus on, and that's going to be additional broad interest targeting, pixel scaling, increasing your budgets, and scaling out with demographics. Very similar to things that we've talked about before, but we're just going to apply it to video in the maturity stage. So additional broad interest targeting, we've talked about this before. We want to find other long-tailed keywords for your niche. What describes your niche besides just the niche interest, like nursing? And you can test that niche interest if the other videos are doing really well. But we want to try to stay away from the broadest term unless we have a really high converting offer that we know that friends of friends are going to be buying for that person that's actually within the niche. Something we found with our necklace is that we were actually getting a lot of people, like mothers or grandmothers of actual nurses, that were ending up buying the necklace for the actual nurse. That's a great feature that the video ad is going to help you get accomplished, because the video ad is going to be a very broad ad and it's going to reach a ton of people. And we're going to actually show you one of those screenshots where you can see how many people were actually reached with our video ads and how much money I spent. So pixel scaling is using the same targeting but optimizing on a different pixel. So in this instance, we were telling you to use the add to cart conversion pixel. Well, you could do the checkout conversion pixel or the KPV checkout pixel. Conversion pixel. And that's a way of pushing your video to people who fit within different profiles for people that fall into the add to cart or the KPV. These are different types of profiles when we're reaching out there and having Facebook do some searching for us when they're optimizing. So those different profiles, we can get out to different people without really trying to overlap as much as possible and still getting additional sales coming in the door. Sometimes the cool thing is here that sometimes some of these, or one of these, will perform better than the add to cart. And it's up for you to test and figure out which one works best for you. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the rule, not the exception, right? The rule that we've developed on our end through $20,000+ in spend is that the add to cart has worked best for us. So that's going to be our rule. We are going to test the other pixels though, because sometimes we'll find an exception. So increasing your budget, it's going to be very similar to the other types. We're not going to change anything dramatically here. One thing that's cool about video at the current time that I'm recording this is that I've been able to push it higher than the other ad types while maintaining a fantastic conversion cost. So that's something that's really cool that we've been noticing with video at this current moment. So you can look to push that up while maintaining a lower conversion cost. So sometimes, with some other ad types, you're going to have basically a hand in hand of when you push the budget up, the conversion cost is going to go up. Well, video doesn't seem to be that sensitive. So I can push the budget up in one hand while not upping the conversion cost in the other. And that's great for our ROI, of course. So as always, look for your ceiling, maintain that ROI by hitting that ceiling and not going above it and not pushing an ad beyond its performance level, its maximum performance level. I want to show you a handful of different types of video ads that we're running. This is all the same necklace, but this is split out by demographics and is split out by a couple interests here. And what you can see is that there's a handful of different budgets at play, right? We have one that's up to 60, a couple that are at 30, 20, and 5. Some of these $5 ones I was never able to push up any higher, but the one that I got up to 60 was absolutely killing it, and it actually had the best conversion cost. You can also notice that the frequency, even after all these people, is not that high. You imagine hitting almost 360,000 people on a website conversion ad, and your frequency would probably be a lot higher than that. And to be honest with you, in that niche, there's probably about 700,000 people for that demographic. So I've almost reached half the audience with only a 2 frequency, 2.28 frequency. That's not that bad. And even some of the ones lower than that have maintained a lower frequency. Again, we're not worried about frequency, but it's cool to see that video, a preferred traffic method, is hitting tons of people. And also note that it's still performing really, really well, even if you think 2.28 is high. Video ad scaling in terms of demographics. It's just like the other ad types, right? We're going to be taking a wide open to a wide open modified. We can get down even to the single age level, but your niche has to be very, very big. Something like Christians or something above, the 10 million mark. You need to have, almost 100,000 person into a single age if you really want to be effective with a video ad scaling into that single interest. So remember that you are still using a website conversion ad type. So not everybody in your audience will fit into that optimization type. It's still the same as it was before. But what we are being able to do is expose our video to more people, because it's going to naturally have engagement. People are going to like it. People are going to comment on it. And it's just a very, very engaging media type. And people have responded very well to it, and Facebook is favoring it. So it's very important that you take advantage of this as much as possible, including testing out, scaling out, increasing your budgets, getting creative on your targeting, not just going for the super broad interest. Go for some broad interests that have a little nuance to them, like we keep talking about. So that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next one.